The aircraft lifted off smoothly. The weather was calm. The pilots were experienced. The passengers were relaxed. For everyone on board, it was just another routine flight, another night in the sky, another journey that should have ended safely. But somewhere between departure and arrival, the aircraft stopped responding. No distress call, no mayday, no warning. One moment, it was there, tracked, identified, guided. The next, it was gone. Not crashed, not delayed, gone. And in that silence, one of aviation's greatest mysteries was born. Every aviation disaster begins with normalcy. Pre-flight checks completed, fuel calculated, weather reviewed, systems tested. The cockpit voice was calm. The cabin lights were dimmed. Passengers adjusted their seats, closed their eyes, and trusted the sky. This aircraft was modern, reliable, equipped with multiple redundant systems designed to prevent exactly what was about to happen. Commercial aviation is built on layers of safety. If one system fails, another takes over. If communication drops, backup radios engage. If navigation falters, ground control steps in. For a plane to vanish completely, everything has to go wrong or be turned off. And that's where the mystery begins. Air traffic controllers watched the radar as they had thousands of times before. A blip, a call sign, a steady altitude. Then, the transponder signal stopped. At first, no one panicked. Transponders fail sometimes. It happens, but then radio contact was lost. No response. No acknowledgement. Minutes passed. Then alarms. Controllers called again. And again. Nothing. The aircraft was no longer visible to civilian radar. It was no longer talking. It was no longer following its assigned route. Yet, military radar later suggested it was still flying. A silent aircraft, changing course, deep into the night. When a plane disappears, the clock starts ticking. Fuel limits, survival windows, weather conditions. Search teams were deployed immediately, ships, aircraft, satellites. But there was a problem. No one knew where to look. The last known position pointed to one region. Military data hinted at another. Satellite signals suggested something else entirely. Oceans were scanned. Thousands of square kilometers searched. Nothing. No debris, no oil slick, no floating wreckage. In most crashes, debris appears within hours. This time, the ocean stayed empty. And the longer the sea stayed silent, the darker the mystery grew. When machines fail, engineers investigate. When systems collapse, designers respond. But when no physical cause is found, attention turns to humans. The pilots, their training, their mental state, their final hours. Investigators examined records, simulators, home computers, flight histories. Was there stress, depression, fatigue? Aviation history shows us one uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the greatest danger in the cockpit is not mechanical, it is human. But suspicion is not evidence. And in this case, there was no final voice recording, no cockpit transcript explaining intent, only theories. As days turned into weeks, theories multiplied. Mechanical failure, but modern aircraft don't simply shut down all systems at once. Fire. But no emergency call was made. Hijacking, but no demands followed. No group claimed responsibility, pilot action. But motive remains unclear. And families reject the idea without proof. Military involvement, but governments released only partial data. Each theory explains one piece of the puzzle, but none explain everything. And that's what keeps this mystery alive. Then came the most haunting detail of all. Satellite handshakes, automated signals sent between the aircraft and orbiting satellites, not messages, not voices, just digital whispers saying, "I'm still here." For hours after disappearance, these signals continued. They didn't say where the plane was, only that it was flying south into vast, empty ocean, until one final handshake. And then, nothing. The aircraft didn't crash on radar, it didn't send a mayday, it simply stopped existing. For investigators, it became a case. For governments, a crisis. For aviation, a nightmare. But for families, it was something worse. No bodies to bury, no wreckage to touch, no final goodbye. Just unanswered phones, empty bedrooms, and a question that never leaves. What really happened up there? This story isn't just about a missing plane, it's about how fragile certainty really is, how even the most advanced systems can fail, and how sometimes the truth doesn't crash. It disappears. Aviation learned from this mystery. Tracking systems improved, procedures changed, technology evolved, but one thing remains missing. Answers. Somewhere beneath the ocean, or hidden within classified files, the truth still waits. And until it's found, this flight will remain one of aviation's greatest unanswered questions. If stories like this make you question how safe the skies truly are, subscribe to History Mind, where we uncover the real disasters, hidden mistakes, and unanswered mysteries that shaped our world.